Good morning or good afternoon. My name is Mrs. Stewart. I'm one of the counselors here at Sapulpa High School, and we are doing our pre-enrollment for the 2023-2024 school year. So this is for sophomores and juniors right now that will be pre-enrolling for their junior and senior year. So let's start off with looking at our agenda, what we're going to touch on today. I do ask that each of you pay very close attention. I know you've already done this once or twice, but there are a few changes this year. So I just want to ask for your attention for the next 30 plus minutes, and hopefully we'll be able to answer lots of questions for you through this presentation. So let's get started first with the transcript. This is just a sample transcript that I want to kind of go over with you. This is kind of our older version of a transcript. We do kind of have a newer version right now that we've been using. So you may have this one, you may have the newer version. They're both official transcripts, so they're both legal documents. It doesn't necessarily matter which format they're in. But on this transcript, you will receive today, or you may have already received it, your counselor has handwritten over here on the side, maybe down here at the bottom, exactly what required courses you have left that you need to enroll for. So please be sure to look at that closely. Don't lose this, as that's going to be your guide when you're doing your class registration over the next week or so. Just want to go over a few reminders. As you can see, this is listed per grade, per school year, right? And we give credit based on each semester. We have 2 semesters. Each semester based on these are 8th grade grades, so not all of those are high school credit grades. So let's look here at 9th grade. First semester, you receive your grade at the end of the semester. You receive a half a credit because you've done half the course. The second semester, you receive your grade, you receive half a credit. Now notice here on this Spanish 2, they received half a credit first semester for their D. They did not receive any credit for the F. So if you do fail a course, that means you do not earn the credit for that class. And therefore, you may or may not have to do credit recovery for that, depending on what the course is, if it's a required course or not. Now, if you'll look down here at the bottom, I just want to touch on the cumulative data. The state does require a minimum of a total number of 23 or more credits to graduate. Now, within that 23 credits, don't forget there are very specific courses that are required, and I'll go over those in just a moment. But as you can see, here is listed the total credit hours that you've earned and the total credit hours attempted. Hopefully those match. We want those to match. That would mean you did not fail any courses, but as you can see, there is a discrepancy here, which means they've earned less than they've attempted because they failed some courses. Also listed down here is your cumulative weighted GPA and your simple GPA. The weighted is going to include those higher weighted courses like honors, AP, or even TCC classes count as honors classes as well. So that GPA may be a little higher if you've taken honors, TCC, or AP courses. Okay, please remember too, this is a legal document. It is an official transcript. Colleges require these, sometimes places of employment. If you're interviewing for jobs, they need this. So you want it to represent you, and you want it to represent you well. So pay attention, be familiar with that, because it is representing your high school career. Okay, let's move on now to the credit check sheet. Everyone in class should have received a copy of the credit check sheet. You should have that with you today. We give these out each year. They're great tools. They're fantastic to be able to kind of keep track of, all right, what courses have I completed and what courses do I have left to complete? And like I said a moment ago, the state does require a minimum of 23 total credits or more. But within those numbers, there are very specific courses that they do require. One of those is English. They require 4 credits of English. So 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. You do take English every single year. They require 3 total math credits. These can vary. Algebra 1 is a must, and then you have to have 2 credits above Algebra 1. That may look different for every student. Now, just because the state only requires 3 math credits, if you are college bound, we highly encourage you to do a 4th year of math. We're hoping someday the state changes that because math is crucial as well, and you don't want to skip out on math if you do plan on going to college. So we do want you to take that 4th math. They also require 3 science credits. Again, biology 1 is a must, it's not an option. These other 2 can sometimes vary. Usually physical science is taken in 9th grade, biology is taken in 10th grade, and then chemistry your junior year. That again can vary from student to student. The state requires 3 credits. Once again, if you are college bound, we highly encourage you to take a 4th science credit. That will benefit you in the long run. The state requires 3 credits of social studies. All 3 of these don't vary. Every student must have a semester of Oklahoma history, semester of government, a year of world history, and a year of U.S. history. Oklahoma and government are usually taken in 9th grade here in Sapulpa, world history in 10th, U.S. history in 11th. The state requires a fine art credit. That can be anything from art, speech, uh, our applied communications or Chieftain podcasts. This can be band, it can be choir, and I'll show you how you can tell if it counts as a fine art later on when we look at our lists of courses offered. The state also requires 2 years of foreign language or 2 years computer tech, but it has to be 2 years of the same course. So you could not do 1 year of Spanish and 1 year of fundamentals of tech. You would need to do 2 of the same one. Then they require 1 additional core credit. That could be another year of foreign language. It could be a computer. It could be another history credit, another science credit, or even another math credit. Okay, and then the rest of those are electives. So again, this is a great tool sheet for you to keep track of what you've completed course-wise and what you still have left to do. You can see that if you have failed a course, you can list that over here, maybe for that you need to do credit recovery because all of these are required. Over here, financial literacy is also a requirement in the state of Oklahoma to graduate, the CPR training, and also the yearly ICAP. We will work with you, the counselors will work with you each year on meeting these requirements. All right, so utilize this with your transcript, kind of transfer those things over. It's a super helpful tool, and it will also help you with your class registration. So let's move on to credit recovery and early graduation. Credit recovery is done through Edgenuity. That's our online program. It can be done during the school year, but we also have summer school. If you do have credit recovery to do, we are recommending that you sign up for summer school this summer. All of that information is going to come later in the semester. I would say probably late April. That information will come out and be available with details on how to sign up for summer school. If you are wanting to graduate early or work ahead, that is also done through our online program. It can be done during the school year. Typically, it has to be done outside of your school schedule or outside of your school day, but it can also be done during summer school. If you have any questions about credit recovery or early graduation, don't hesitate to email your counselor and we can answer those questions for you. Okay, our curriculum guide. You probably, hopefully, remember seeing this last year. This is something new, and it is so much easier to use than just having a paper book to flip through. This is a link. You will be receiving this link in your pre-enrollment email that you will get after school today. But this is a link to our website to the curriculum guide. It's on our high school webpage under SHS 2324 courses. So if you'll scroll down right now, these are the old videos from last year. These will be replaced and this video will be there. So there will be a link to this video that you can watch at a later date for refreshers and reminders. But if you scroll down, you'll see these icons. Here's the scheduling process, graduation requirements, all of these types of things. And then you're able to scroll down at all and look at all of our course offerings, all the classes that we have available. So just let's look really quick at family and consumer sciences. We click on that and it takes us here. We're able to read what the class is, what type of class, what grades, any prerequisites, and a course description. So anytime you have a question about, okay, well, what classes are available? What classes can I take? Do I have to take a class that's required before I can enroll? For example, in art, Art 1 is a prerequisite for every single other art class. You must have to have completed Art 1 in order to enroll in all of the other art courses. So this is super interactive. It's very user friendly. I encourage you to come on here, kind of just explore, read, and use this when you are doing your class registration. It's super, super helpful. Again, this will be a link in your pre-enrollment email. Okay, the planning pages. Every student is also going to get a copy of these planning pages. You will have one page that is the core classes. So you are going to look at the sophomores will get one that looks like this for 11th grade enrollment, okay? And the seniors, or I'm sorry, the juniors, yours will say 12th grade enrollment because that is what you're going to enroll for in the next school year. These are not for you to turn in. These are just for you to have a hard copy of what is available, what is being offered next year. You can mark on it, circle it, highlight. Um, you'll look at these three Englishes to see which one do I want to take, histories, all the science offerings, and all of the math offerings. Okay, so real quick, I do want to kind of go over the math. So let's go back. If you are a sophomore, and you are going to enroll for 11th grade. If you are currently in Algebra 1, your next math class in line will be geometry. If you are currently in geometry, your next class in line will be Algebra 2. Okay, so you'll look at it that way. But again, refer back to that transcript because your counselor has written those required classes on there for you. So once again, this is just a planning page. This is not something you will mark and turn in. This is something for you to use to help you before you go online and do your class registration. That is the core classes. These are the elective classes. You will receive a separate page with the elective classes on here. You will have one side that are all in-person electives. These are the 11th grade electives. Okay. These are the 12th grade electives. Yes, they're pretty much the exact same thing. But on the back, you're also going to have a copy of the 11th and 12th grade virtual electives. And like I told you earlier, what we will have these little markers right here is just an asterisk. If you see that next to a class, it counts as an art credit. If you see two of them next to a class, it's going to count as a computer tech credit. That is also the case on the in-person electives. So if you'll see this, all of these count as a fine art. These count as computer tech credits. But in the in-person electives, we have a couple of extra notations. This one means the student must be in a sport. That refers to advanced girls weight training as well as advanced weight conditioning. The one with two of them means it cannot be taken with a sport, and that will be physical education. If you're in a sport, you must do the weight training. If you're not in a sport, you will want to do the PE class. Also, I want to point out on these electives, there are some that are prerequisites. If you're looking at this and think, I want to enroll in 3D Mix, have you had Art 1? If you have not completed Art 1, you have to take it before you can take 3D Mix. So you will want to enroll in Art 1 so that you can take that the next school year. For computer, Fundamentals of Tech, that's the first class you need to have. That's the prerequisite before you can take any of the other ones. Okay? Another thing I want to point out, some of these are an application or a tryout type of course. For example, athletic trainer. You do have to complete an application in order to be an athletic trainer, and that is in the athletic office. Things like cheer, performing arts, the ping, all of those are tryout type courses. So if you do choose one of those, know that those are not a guarantee. It depends on if you make the team. Once we get rosters from coaches, that's when we add those classes. So you probably won't necessarily always see them in your requests because we will add those later. So one real quick again, these you 11th graders or for 11th grade enrollment, you will receive the 11th grade electives. For 12th grade enrollment, you will have the 12th grade electives. And then both 11th and 12th grade enrollment, you will have a copy of the virtual electives. Once again, this is just for planning purposes. You will not mark these and turn them in. These are for you to look at and for you to use, mark on, rate them like this is my number one choice, so on, and then you'll use it to do your class registration. Okay, those two will be linked in the pre-enrollment email that you will get after school today. One thing I do want to point out, as a junior or a senior, you have the opportunity to do internship and work study. These are great elective options for you guys. I will also be attaching an internship opportunity to the pre-enrollment email today. Take a look at those. Internship is overseen by Mr. Tuttle, and he has lots of opportunities for you to look at work study. If you have a job, you can also participate in work study. And on the internship document that I will attach, his contact information will be on there. So be sure if you're interested in this, look at that, and then you can email him with any questions. All right, let's move on to the actual registration. Now, most of you, well, all of you actually, when we did pre-enrollment last year, we did it via a Google form. This year is different. You are going to do your class registration on PowerSchool. You're actually going to log into your PowerSchool account and you are going to do your request, your course request in PowerSchool this year. So before I show you how to do that, I want to make a couple of points. For grades 11 and 12, you may only enroll in online classes, either hybrid or virtual, if you are on track for graduation and do not have any credit recovery to do. So please be sure you read that carefully. Also, please note any hybrid or virtual online class registrations are considered requests only. They are not a definite. There will be a committee that is put together that will review all online course requests for approval. Just like in the past, we've had the total virtual online application. This is taking that place. So this is your application. So if you are selecting any online classes, whether that be for hybrid or for virtual, there will be a committee to review those before approval is made. So please, please, please remember, these are requests only. They still have to be approved. Okay, if you have questions about that, don't hesitate to email your counselor. So let's look at how do I do my class registration on PowerSchool. Well, we are going to go to your login. So right here is where you will log into PowerSchool. I have a fun test guide. Most of you probably do not know who Ferris Bueller is, but if you are older like me, I'm sure you know who that is. So you will sign in to your PowerSchool account, okay? Over here on the left-hand side, you will see all of these icons. You are going to click on class registration. It is going to take you to this menu. Now, some of you will be already pre-enrolled in an English, maybe a science, maybe a math. If you are a 10th grader enrolling for 11th grade, you will be pre-enrolled for all 4 cores. If you are a junior enrolling for your senior year, you may only be pre-enrolled for English, okay? What you're going to do, the directions are right here. Using your paper pre-planning sheets, the core and elective sheets, please sign up for a total of 7 classes with at least 3 elective alternates. So each one of these, you will go over here to the right, you will click on the pencil, you will choose your English. Do you want to do AP Lang? Do you want to do AP Lit? English 4, this is for seniors. English 4A, English 4B. Now, what I want to point out on this one, notice all of these are in person. Lang, Lit, English 4. This AB, anytime you see an English or a science or a math, whatever, A and B, look at the course number. It says VIR. That means it is a virtual class. If you are going to choose a virtual class, you have to be sure you mark both. Up here, required, use the pencil icon on the right to correct if your default class is incorrect. Virtual classes need both A and B entered. The default class is the class that you very well may be pre-enrolled in. You can change that. Okay, so for example, if you get to this page and you notice, oh, I'm pre-enrolled for online English 4, I don't want to do that, you click over here, you click off of these, and you click the one you want and click OK, and it will enroll you in the one you want. All right, moving on to social studies. Most of you as seniors, you're finished with this requirement, but you do have options. Some of you may still need government and Oklahoma history. You may need to click those. You may only need one of them. Again, this is where it's going to be extremely important to look at your transcript that your counselor wrote on to see if there's anything required in this area that you do need. Science, math. Notice these. Now, this is, again, for a junior. My test student here, Ferris Bueller, is a junior enrolling for a senior. So there are fewer required core classes. If you are a sophomore enrolling for your junior year, you are required to do all 4 cores. So let's scoot on down to the electives. You will notice a red exclamation mark. That means this is required. You will click on this button, and here are all your elective choices. Once again, you are going to use your pre-planning pages, the core and the elective pages that I just showed you earlier. You're going to transfer that information into here. So for example, you have already had Art 1, so you want to take 3D Mix 1. This is my elective 1 choice. I click on that, I hit OK. My second choice is going to be maybe PE. There are all of these pages down here, so be sure you toggle through all of those to find the ones that you are looking for. They're all in alphabetical order. I maybe missed my PE. That's my number 2 choice. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click OK. My number 3 choice may be Performing Arts Theater. I'm going to click OK. Now, the next thing I want you to see is the alternate electives. If you'll notice, there are 4. You have to complete each one of these. So these are ranked. This is my number one elective choice. This is my number two elective choice, my number three elective choice. If none of those work out, my counselors are going to go to my alternate choices. So I have to rank them as well. This is my number one alternate choice. This is my number two alternate choice, three, and four. Again, all of these are required. So you're going to click on there. You're going to just choose your next alternate course. Again, you're choosing based on your rank, so please rank them however you're wanting them. I'm just clicking right now, okay? Just to show you how you have to do this before you can submit. So I've clicked on all of my classes. I have green check marks on every single one, so I'm good to go. I do want to point out another thing. Down here, it talks about what's required, how many credit hours. Please ignore this area right here. That is not going to concern you. That's only going to concern the counselors. What you need to be aware of is, do I have something chosen for every single subject area and the green check mark? Also, remember, if you are going to enroll for your senior year, there may be some of these that you keep the green arrow because it's not necessarily required. If you're enrolling for your junior year, you're going to see more of the red exclamation marks. Once you have done your course, once you have chosen all of those, once you have come down and ranked your three electives and then ranked and chosen all of your alternate electives, all green check marks, then you are good to submit. And this, I can't submit. This little thing is in my way. But you will hit submit, and this is what it is going to look like. Okay? That will be the list of your courses that you chose. All right? So super easy to do. Again, you are going to be logging into your PowerSchool on a computer. You cannot do this on your phone. That's another thing I do want to point out. We did some testing with some students the other day. We tried it. It will not work on your phone. You can only do it on your Chromebook or on a desktop. You will log into your PowerSchool account, not a parent account. It won't work through a parent account. You have to log into your student PowerSchool account and go to the class registration. So if you have that, if you only say you only use PowerSchool on your phone, your password is saved, you can't remember what it is, so you don't know how to get into that on your Chromebook, just email your counselor for your login and we can email that to you, no problem. All right? Okay, let's move on. Now that we have gone over the transcript, the curriculum guide, the credit check sheet, and how you actually will register for your classes, let's move on to due dates and reminders. So today after school, every student and every parent will receive a pre-enrollment email. It will come from me, Mrs. Stewart, in your school email. And it will come anytime between 3 and 5 p.m. today. Okay, today is Wednesday, February 22nd. I will get all of those together and get those emailed out today. So be looking for that. With the email, it will be full of instructions. It will also include this video presentation, and it's going to have links and attachments to all these helpful documents and websites, like the curriculum guide, like the internship thing that I told you about. I will also be attaching the core and elective lists or planning page. Everyone should have received those planning pages, but I'm also still going to attach them to this email. Excuse me. The deadline for enrollment is Wednesday, March 1st at 5 p.m. The class registration on PowerSchool will end at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, March 1st. If you do not want your counselor putting in your request for you, you be sure that you log in your PowerSchool account and you choose all of those classes you want through the class registration icon. Just a reminder, all honors classes that you choose, they are a full year commitment, and some classes do require the teacher approval and or tryouts. So keep that in mind when choosing your courses. Also, over the next few weeks, once this window ends of your class registration, so after March 1st, the counselors, all three of us, will be reviewing and adjusting all student registration requests in PowerSchool. So for example, if I go into one of my students and I see that there is a required course you need to graduate that you didn't request, I will put that in there for you. So we don't do a whole lot of that. You guys are really good about looking at those transcripts, doing what we've written on there. We really haven't had a whole lot of problems with that in the past, but that is something we will do if needed because we want to make sure you're getting everything taken so that you can graduate all the correct courses. Then, once we are finished with that, at a later date, and you will know because we will push out all this information, we will ask you to go back into your PowerSchool account, review the lists of requests for next school year that you made, and then you will have a very specific time period. And again, we will let you know what that is to look those over, email your counselor with any changes that you want to make, because once that second look over period is over, there will be absolutely no changes allowed for the next school year courses. Let me tell you why. I have never seen a school that customizes their school teacher master schedule around what you guys request. Teachers are hired, positions are eliminated based on enrollment numbers. So our administration takes all of these requests and creates the master schedule over the summer. It is a customized school schedule for what our students have asked for. Once that's created, which takes weeks and hours and weeks and hours of time to do, once that's created and teacher positions are adjusted, that is why we cannot make any changes. Okay. So one more time, once the deadline ends on March 1st, okay, you have 1 week from today to March 1st to do your class registration. At that time, the counselors will review, do any adjusting that we need. Then we will get back with you and say, okay, guys, it is now time to do your last review. You will have that period of time to make any changes. After that, no changes will be made. Also, TCC concurrent and dual enrollment. This is a great opportunity for qualifying high school juniors and seniors. If you are interested, go ahead and complete the online application right now. It's on TCC's website. You will have to have a high school transcript to do that. So please email your counselor for a digital copy and we'll get that to you. TCC courses do count as honors credit. All TCC courses taken, whether that be in the summer, fall, or spring, they are transcribed on your high school transcript. TCC enrollment for summer and fall opens officially for you April 10th, but TCC is going to let us start entering your enrollment on their portal March 27th. It kind of gives you a place in line. It time stamps them. So you are in kind of a digital line, and once the 10th hits, they will start processing those enrollments in order that they were received. So keep the 27th in mind. The high school counseling department will send out an announcement closer to those dates, and we will let you know, hey guys, if you're interested in TCC, email your counselor. We'll pull you in one at a time, and we will kind of go over all of that with you. But in the meantime, if you're interested and you want to be ready to go when the time comes, make sure you apply now. Email your counselor to get that digital copy and apply now. Your teacher, there's not one for every student, but your teacher, your English teacher will have some copies of the TCC information and step sheet handout. If you would like one, get one of those from your English teacher. But I will also be attaching this document to your pre-enrollment email. ACT testing. All juniors will be taking a free one this April for state testing, okay? Know that one's coming up. If you are a current junior, you will be taking that ACT test at school in April. But for a national test, the Saturday test, the next one is Saturday, April 15th, deadline Friday, March 10th to register for that. And remember, if you're on free and reduced lunch, you can receive one waiver your junior year and one your senior year. You're welcome to stop by the counseling office to pick those up. Central Tech, you may still apply. I know they've already done applications and done interviews, but it's not too late to apply. It is not going to be an option on your PowerSchool class registration. However, you will still enroll or still register for all 7 classes as if you are going to attend the high school all day. And once the counselors receive the roster from Central Tech, we will pull those electives out and replace it with your Central Tech class. If you have questions about tech, Mrs. Romine is our Central Tech counselor. These are her emails. And again, you're going to receive this presentation in your pre-enrollment email today, so you will have access to her emails. Please get with her if you have any questions about tech. Athletics, tryouts. If you have questions about any athletic or sport tryout, physicals, drug testing, athletic trainer applications, all of that information is in the athletic office. That is in the high school main office. Mr. Rose is our athletic director, and Miss Lowry is his secretary, and this is their phone number. But if you're at the high school and you want to ask a question, just stop by. They'll be happy to answer any of those for you. Office aid and peer tutor. These are for seniors and juniors only. Again, this is not an elective choice on your PowerSchool class registration. What you will still register for all 7 classes for here at the high school. You will need to get the application. Applications are with your English teacher if you're interested. If your English teacher runs out of those, we will have those in our office, off room 216. And I will also be attaching this document to your pre-enrollment email. You will fill out that application, turn it into our office. Once those are approved, an elective will be taken out and the office aide and or peer tutor will be added. Applying to college. This is for current juniors only. So current sophomores, just kind of ignore this right now, but know it's coming down the pike for you. Current juniors enrolling for your senior year. Please know that most college and university admissions applications open July 1st, so you can technically start applying for college this summer. Please, please, please be sure to check out the scholarship finder on your OK College Start account. That's where you do your ICAP. It is a fantastic state and national scholarship finder. All of our local scholarships will not be available until the spring of your senior year. So starting this summer, you're going to be looking at state and national scholarships. So OK College Start is the place you want to go. And then you will want to listen to announcements, bulletin next spring about the local scholarships. Oklahoma's Promise. If you are a sophomore or a junior, which you are, you can receive free college tuition. Okay, you can look through here. You can start applying in 8th grade, but they've extended the deadline. It used to be by June 30th of your sophomore year. They've extended it now to June 30th of your junior year. So there's still time. If you would like to apply for Oklahoma's Promise and you qualify, you can still do that. Your teacher should have an Oklahoma Promise flyer for every single one of you, but I will also be attaching that to your pre-enrollment email. Social media. I won't spend too much time here. Just know that it matters what you put on your social media platforms. Scholarships, college admissions, jobs, sororities and fraternities, they look at these. If they see things they don't like or approve, that can affect your status. So please, please, please be aware. A good rule of thumb is nothing you would say or do or show your grandmother should not be put on social media. So please be careful what you post. Also, just in case you have forgotten, these are your SHS counselors. Mrs. Yeager is the counselor for last names that start with A through G. Here is her email. She is located in room 216 in our counseling office. Miss Rebecca Bilby is the counselor for last names H through O. There's her email as well. And then, of course, myself, Mrs. Stewart, I have last names P through Z, and this is my email. Okay, so quick summary and reminders. Once again, you should have received your transcript that your counselor wrote on and a credit check sheet. Please be sure you look over those, use those, they're very helpful. Look over the curriculum guide. You will receive a link to that on our high school webpage. Please discuss your enrollment with your parent or guardian. Let them do this with you. You will want to do your PowerSchool class registration by Wednesday the 1st at 5 p.m. Once again, you're going to get that email today after school. We'll have all the links and attachments. You will then be able to log into your PowerSchool and start your class registration. Please refer back to this presentation for any questions, clarifications that you will need. Again, this too will be added to that pre-enrollment email. Additional questions, you just need to email your counselor. And please, please, please be sure you are checking your school email daily. This is the best way that we can send out mass communication, information. We want to keep you informed, but we need you to check your email daily. All right, I hope this helped. I hope it answered a whole lot of questions for you. Happy pre-enrollment, and I appreciate your attention and time. If you have any questions, again, please don't hesitate to email. Thank you.